Well, now is a good time as any. I'm kind of sort of in a sorting mood. I mean, it is what it is. So I cleaned up all those bins. That fell. Let me pick that up. So this is trying to get my room in a little bit of an organization. So somebody asked about my room and my storage. I'm not sure exactly how this video is going to go, so I decided to hit play like I usually do without any kind of idea. And the idea is just winging it. So here's me winging it. So I talked about my desk. Well, actually, I didn't talk about my desk. You guys didn't hear about my desk. So this is my desk area. It's 7.5 feet by 2.5 feet. So it's actually 3 train modules wide. I forget who invented it, PTL and whatever, those guys. This is where I sit every night. And this is kind of my work area. And I put this black sheet on here because the melamine is too smooth. And there's a slight slope this way, so any round parts will roll off the edge. I did that on purpose at the time, thinking it was a better idea, but I was wrong. This is a tabletop I made. Melamine, 1/8 inch thick, nice edge that I built on my saw outside, and 2x3 joists underneath, so you can actually stand on this if you wanted to. It's bolted against the wall there along the back, and there's a little leg there because this room is just slightly bigger than 7.5 feet. I didn't build it to the size of the room. I built it 7.5 feet because that's 3 train modules. But there's no legs besides that corner. There's no legs underneath here at all, so you can get your. There's no blockage when you're using this thing for storage underneath. So that's why I built that, and I got to use my wood shop to do that. So I got some miscellaneous sets in here. This corner always seems to get piled up with stuff, and I have to clean it up every once in a while. And I found that little radio at Value Village, and it does work. You put batteries and it does work. It does have an AC adapter inside. I haven't bothered, but I have another radio in the garage that's like one that has a DVD CD player on it. This is an alarm clock that we got. Battery's dead now. Also from Value Village, as you can see. But it said Lego, so I bought it. It did work at one point. The battery's died in it now. The space cup, or just little Lego cup, I got that. Sandy got that for me one time. That was a set that I got in a lot. I can't remember the set number, but it is a windmill, so I keep it here because it's sort of Dutch. So I keep it here. That's an award that I got for coming in first place at one of our robot competitions many years ago. So I keep that on my desk. It's always neat to say. And I got that. It's a very good and dear friend of mine out in the Ottawa area was hearing about my modifying of my monorails to make full contact with the monorail track with the copper tape that I put on it. And I was talking about I needed springs, and he just sent me an envelope full of springs that he taped, and I'm using them as I get back into my monorail. So that was very much appreciated. Very good and dear friend, who on this video remained nameless, but I really do appreciate him and the fact that he did that for me. This is a die flag that I built many years ago. As you can see, the white is faded. Sandy did that for me, a picture of the layout. That picture is from the first Family Fun Fest that we did, and there was a white background, white concrete wall, so it was very easy to block out the white and put a space background in it. And my friend Rob did the picture, and then Sandy sent it off and got it laminated onto a piece of wood, so it's a nice picture now. Sandy also got me that because I'm a Star Trek fan, not only a Lego fan. A picture of Joshy over there. I was getting these things from Value Village, these storage areas, these storage drawers, thinking that, I put them a row along here for the small little parts. I'm still torn. I've seen people use those in those little tiny pull-out drawers. They're semi-expensive, but these were from the dollar store. They're like $3 a piece. And I'm still seeing if I want them. So it's just a test. That's my beautiful wife behind those storage bins that I've already sorted out. And then we get up to the shelves that I put in here. And it's a bit of a mess. Better than it was, but it's a bit of a mess. But And some things I should just take apart and not worry about again. Like this is my axle sorter, based on somebody else's axle sorter, and it's a modular, so it's all sitting here and here, and I can take it to shows if I wanted to. This is my Duplo bunny. This is where I keep on my pieces of Duplo that I keep on getting in lots. And then other sort sets, kind of nicely, quote unquote, nicely stored over there. Some 70 sets in the Space Police one. Up here we have my shelf of 3 8480, I believe the set number is, space shuttles, and of course one of my favorite, my #1 Technic set of all time, the go-kart. I did this guy for a one of my reviews. I didn't have another place to put him, and I haven't put him in storage yet, so he's sitting there. Up there I have my message intercept base, which I'll be reviewing at some point. Lots of pictures of Josh kind of all bundled together, but they were on my desk. And the one Galaxy Explorer, 924, the Galaxy Explorer back there, a white Galaxy Explorer, and then underneath you can see right in there is my Blacktron / Babylon 5 / Shadow Vessel Galaxy Explorer. And then so yeah, you get into a lot of classic space sets, a lot of the sets that I've been doing for the reviews, building for reviews. Of course, a lot of these things were built before I did the reviews because I keep them together, but a lot more, so I'm running out of space on shelves. So I'm going to go through all these, and I'm going to put the ones that are, you know, there's no bad classic space sets except for, you know, the 6880 / 6929. There's no other bad classic space sets. There are classic space sets that are questionable, but nothing is as bad as that 6880 / 6929 hybrid, which I will not build ever in my life. Anyway, so I have, and these are my takes on the 918 using the Benny mini spaceship that came out a couple of years when Lego Movie 2 came out. And so yeah, and then so you can see most of these sets I've already done reviews for, and I just didn't have space for them. They just kind of stuffed them up on the shelf. Here's 3 of the 5 Galaxy Commanders that I just had in my last review. The other 2 I already put back in storage. I just have to find big enough Ziplocs for the other 2. So those are going to go into storage. I'm just going to keep one out here. I actually have 2 6985s out here for no strange reason. When I get that review done, one of them's going to go into storage. Possibly not mine, but you can see how faded it is. And then down here I have miscellaneous sets that I just adore. So they're sitting up here. And I just haven't felt like putting them in the storage yet. This was my one attempt at town / landscaping. I don't know, the ambulance is falling over. So I spent a couple days just building shrubbery, bring me shrubbery. So I leave that up to say that yes, I do attempt non-spacey stuff. So this is a set that Josh got and is down here, and I liked it. So and way in the back is a train that my friend Pete gave me. It was in his set, and when he found out that I still like Lego, he called up his mom and he says, "Hey, do we still have all?" Because he didn't have any kids and his sister didn't have any kids that were interested in Lego, so he just gave it to me. He dropped it off at my door one day, his entire Lego collection, because I used to run over to his place and he used to run over to my place, and we used to play Lego together with each other's collections. And we had different types of collections, and I liked his, he liked mine, I liked mine too, and he, of course he liked his, but after 40 years I inherited his. This was my one attempt. I think this was oh my goodness, this was not a competition but a building thing, and I wanted to see if I could build a classic spaceship with the new pieces, and it wasn't supposed to be a Starfleet Voyager, but it ended up going in the direction of a Starfleet Voyager pretty quick. And it's not done yet. The back end's not done yet, so it just sits there waiting for me to finish it. And then of course more classic space sets, and like what I still consider the extended classic space, like the ice planets and everything else. And down here, same thing, UFOs and Blacktron 2s and Mtrons and UFOs again. And my 926, which is just getting piled stuff on top of, because it's just easy to throw stuff in here. It is what it is. I'm sorry, it is a mess. It is honestly a mess, but I'm trying to sort out the entire collection. And so stuff that I'm interested in looking at later, I throw over here. The other thing is I started, and I should actually get a bin for it. I started moving out. Sorry, Simon, I knocked over your mech here. My very good friend Simon gave me that for a little space out. So I started, when I come across older pieces where the mold has changed and the newer ones. So this is the grill tile without groove, which is not rare, but it's sort of rare. I got a stack of 1x8s here. I've showed them off one time with the old bottom. So when I come across older pieces that I want to separate, and just in case I want to find them, I've been piling them here, and they're going to go in a bin at some point. This is something that we got at Michael's, and it's 100%, it's not 100%, but it's so close to the original Lego thread that came out in the 70s, like on that set there. This thread here is his original thread, and I took it over to Michael's and I compared it, and this was the best, closest thread I could find without, there was a, and I don't go on Eurobricks, but I believe there's a thread on Eurobricks somewhere that says, if you order this thread from this manufacturer, is identical to the original Lego thread that came out in the 70s. This was Michael's, which is down the street. It was like $2 or whatever. I can't even remember what it was. It was stupid cheap. And I said, that's close enough. That's good enough for me. It doesn't fray. It doesn't, it feels exactly, if you look at it, it feels exactly this. Let me just get that in there. It feels exactly the same. So Michael's, go over there. I don't know what the sticker came off the side, so I can't tell you what, but you can see these and just buy the black one. I got a stack of Space Police 1 guys from the collectible minifig series, a couple of minifig series ago, and so I just piled them there because I used to be over with the Space Police sets, but of course I did the reviews on them, so I had to take them off, and I just threw them there to get them out of the way, blah, blah, blah. Winnie the Pooh, I gave to Sandy, and Sandy and Josh built it. I adore that set. I'm not a new Lego set guy. I'm really not. But that was a beautiful set, and Friends was a beautiful set, and Sandy got me Sesame Street because I grew up on Sesame Street. Sesame Street, I believe, premiered the year I was born. So when I was 2 or 3 or 4 years old, it was relatively new, and it was all the original cast and characters. Mr. Snuffleupagus hadn't even shown up yet. That came out when I was getting a little older, but I adored Sesame Street when I was a kid. I watched it, I've seen a couple episodes when Josh was a kid, and I'm going, yeah, it's okay, but it was different. Then I remembered it being a lot more tame and a lot more, I don't know, it's still great. I'm sure the kids still love it, but I love Sesame Street, and Sandy got me that for my birthday or my Christmas last year, and I love building it. So it's kind of hidden back there. That's Lego, actually. She's Lego, and there should be 2 of them back there somewhere. Scala, or yeah, I think so. I put them in my supercar when I had my supercar together. So with seatbelts and everything. This is Logo. That's a set that came out with the original control center, 4.5 volt motors, and again a pile of stuff, including 2 pneumatic front end loaders, backhoe over there, and Ghostbusters, the original, fantastic. And over here is just more miscellaneous sorting, all my Technic bins of pieces. So the axles and all the bushings and all the other pieces are over there. The friction pegs and non-friction pegs, the axle pegs, blah, blah, blah. It's just because I use them all the time. Do I need this many? Like I have 2 already, starting my second bin of friction pegs. But in my life, I'm never going to build something that's going to need this many. I should be able to downsize that and get one of those little pull-out drawers over here and just get rid of most of the stuff, but I just don't know what I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use. So continuing with this, we have my one big box. The other 3 boxes are in the garage. In this box is, which one's in this box? Oh, the Habitat. The Habitat and the launch tower. So I brought that in, all right, because of copper rails. That's why it's in here, because I leave it in the garage, the cold will just kill it. And it looks like I've been throwing some windows in here to replace other windows. Oh yeah, I found those 2 windows. I ordered more from Jealous Panda, and there's a couple windows in that habitat that are just 1x4 trans yellow bricks stacked on top of each other. And so those 2 windows will replace that. More sorting stuff that I have to sort into the collection. More sorting stuff, more sorting stuff. This box here is full of sorting stuff that I have to sort out. This is my bin of doom. I close it up and I push the pieces through that hole because I don't want pieces falling off my desk into there. That's something that has nothing to do with Lego. It's a slide scanner, and I have all my dad's slides from when I was a kid. So this for the very, very few of you that were at my 50th birthday party. I made this piece of wood for people to sign on my 50th birthday party, and sign they did. So I'm very, very happy of all my friends and family that came out to my 50th birthday party. Sincerely, it was awesome. I just haven't found the place. I haven't found the place to actually put that on the wall yet. Back there was my first iteration, my first test of taping base plates to melamine, and so I keep it together for, I don't know, whatever strange reason. Mike gave me that Lego sign back here. It's back there. I got a whole stack of X-Pods trans yellow, obviously. So over here, I missed this part at my 50th birthday. Absolutely fantastic. And then we go over here to my shelf closest to me, which for whatever reason I should put other stuff on it, but up top is just storage. I got this at, let's be careful with it. I got this at Once Upon a Child. There's a whole story behind me getting it. Once Upon a Child. I didn't realize it was Lego at first because the base plate I'd never seen before. And again, there's old bricks on top of there. I leave them there. RoboForce. The plane, I did a whole video on the plane, one of my favorite sets when I was growing up. Josh got the dinosaur kit. Well, I got the dinosaur kit and Josh put it together, so it stays up here. There's not enough room to stand up the T-Rex, but sooner or later we'll be. One of my new favorite sets, again, I'm not a huge new set guy, but Winnie the Pooh, Sesame Street, and the Space Shuttle. I adore the Space Shuttle. You might have noticed that I'm a science fiction geek. I could talk about, and one of these things I am going to talk about, there are a few things in here that aren't Lego, but have significant meaning to me. And if you don't know what this is, it's just, so that's one thing. That is the best thing. There are a few things that have nothing to do with Lego. That compass, very, very important to me. So sorting, these are sort of my minifig-ish stuff. Minifig stuff for feet. Brick separators, I don't know. Minifig stuff for necks, classic space tools, all the other tools, sword, spears, and shields and lightsabers. These things are not labeled, but this is my classic space bin. This is my gray printed parts that are classic space. I should sort this. This is just a mess. I don't know what to do with that. Other parts that I should sort out: guns and rifles, and tires in the background because I don't know what I'm gonna put all these tires. And then other stuff down here. So the thing that we cannot talk about, although everybody's talking about it these days, I think the moratorium of talking about it is over. I have 50 Futuron looking gray minifigs, classic space minifigs. And the droids, this is all droids. I put them all in one spot just so I know where they are. I don't play a lot with droids from Star Wars, but they're all there. The Minecraft bin, because every time I buy used lots, I get Minecraft. That little bin there is all the micro figs that we've gotten over the years. This is the motorcycle bin. This behind here is the friends bin, right? You know, and the white classic space stuff. These are all the towers, all the lighting, the tower poles, the lighting tower poles that I'm going to build, that I built for the layout. I just have to put them into layout. This is my one bin of sadness. This is all the wiring from the RCXs and all that whole era, and they're all disintegrating, and you can just see that they're disintegrating. But I don't want to throw them out, so there's that. Some life flight stuff in there, more life flight stuff up there for me to And this is my Minifig Shelf. The heads, the hats slash hair, the feet, the torsos are here. Torsos are there. Figs that are put together. Figs that are put together. These are my maxi figs from the 70s, and the figs with no arms, no legs. This is my animal tote with all the smaller animals, and then all the bigger ones are down there. And then down here we again have totes to sort, but it's basically where Josh dumps his Bionicles slash whatever, the big guys that he just likes to, you know, wrestle with. Another tote to sort, and down there is just a Bionicle bin, a complete Bionicle bin. A tote to sort, but mostly Bionicle, and mostly Bionicle down there. A set still in box from my youth, which I adore. Number 10, and there's all the pieces in there. This is something I just picked up a ton of years ago. And then the wooden box I got off of eBay a billion years ago, and I absolutely adore it. And it was an expansion pack from Italy. Those are my Lego Stingers that I had such a good time with a bunch of years back. I might revisit it someday. 16 shooter Stinger that you can play tank with, because I was trying to get to the point where if you hit the other Stinger, it would pop off panels. That was working well. That's my, at the bottom there, the LL928, that's my 4.5 volt box that has the SEQs in it and all the other 4.5 volt stuff. Coming up, these two bins are my bins of soldering and all the other stuff, all my electronic stuff, my personal stuff. Got a multimeter there, my soldering irons in there, all that stuff in there. More Lifelite stuff, and more Lifelite stuff. Oh, that's actually my EL wire there. But this is the bin. This is the go bin for my the layout. This is all the electronic parts I need for the layout. It's got the train controller. It's got the Lifelite adapters to light up all the life lights. And then we get into the trans containers. My trans storage. So again, dark blue. What is this? So that's all the small parts of dark blue up there, and this is all the big parts of dark blue here. Orange and neon orange, red up there, whole bin. Light blue, trans neon green, clear, trans yellow, obviously, trans green, trans black. So that's that. Get over here, and I've started this is my ad hoc wall, because I did all my classic space and I was doing the series. I had put all my classic space figs out there, and I've been grabbing classic space figs off here as I need them. This was basically full of red minifigs, and this is getting a little scarce. Although I'm almost done, so I got some spares. White, I have a predominantly white thing. Yellow, I'm down to 3 basically. So they're almost gone. And then we get into Blacktron and the Stormtroopers, but again, the Stormtroopers are all on my layout. Then we get into M-Tron and Blacktron 2, and then down here was the Insectoids and the Spirius and all those other guys, Explorians, and down here is all miscellaneous stuff. But I just, and then every time I find a fig that I'm sort of interested, or Josh is sort of interested, they end up there. And then we get into my actual storage for pieces, and we'll just start with light gray. We're not going to go through everything, but you'll generally get the gist if I do this. So there's 1x plates, 1x plates, 2x2, 3, 4x, 2x3, 2x4, 2x2, 2x3. I can't even speak. 2x2, 2x3, 2x4 plates, 2x6 and 2x8 plus. So that's 10, 12, 14, and 16. This is not, because I do a lot more model plates, but basically, and it goes to the 4x plates and the 6x plates. So that's light gray, and then it gets to the bricks. 1, 2, 3, and 4 bricks. 1x6, 1x8 plus bricks. And then it'll be down, well, usually it's below, 2x2, 2x3, and 2x6, 2x4, 2x4. And then for me, for gray especially, these are 4x4 and 4x8 wing plates, because that's all the classic space right there, and the tails for all those old sets. And then the other wing plates are just a hodgepodge until you get down to here. This whole bin is just 4x9 wing plates, because of course that's what I use in my layout to make the circles. 45-degree slopes, 33-degree slopes, and miscellaneous slopes. So if there's enough to sort out, that's why I start sorting out. Like my yellow, I think, well, we get over there if we actually show it. All the slope plates, all the slope bricks fit into one bin, but as soon as it gets filled, if it overfills, then I sort them out into two different, 45 and 33, and then miscellaneous. Modified plates. This is all the modified plates I have for old light gray. DWFS I talked about before: doors, windows, fences, and shutters. Now I do put sometimes panels in here. But this is what I printed stickered, anything that has a sticker or printer on it. This one also doubles right now as my storage for all the castle walls, because I didn't know where else to put them. Modified bricks, same as modified plates, but they're bricks, right? And then tiles. Tiles includes what I consider to be tiles, right? So the steering wheel is a tile because it's got a 1x2 tile with a steering wheel on it. So even the support, it's a 2x4 tile with a support on it. So I will say that overall, I do things slightly differently than Bricklink. I started sorting this way before Bricklink even started. And overall, I haven't come across the idea that their sorting method is better for me. And I do applaud them to try to keep things consistent. But to me, a tile is a tile. A tile is a brick or a plate. This clippy is a tile because there's no stud on the top, and it's got a clippy on it. So to me, that's a tile. I don't know what Bricklink says is a tile. And for me, and this is how I sort it. This is either a panel or a tile with a panel wall. So therefore it's in here, because the studs are not on top of the actual bottom. The studs are up here. So it's not, this is a tile with something on top, right? That's how I started sorting way back then. The other thing that some people might get caught on, and if we go down here, because black has got the most pieces, has the most pieces. If we go down to my mod plates for black, these are my 1x2 mod plates with studs on the side. So there's a 1x2 plate with studs going on the side. This is a 1x2, the same one. This is a 1x2. This is a 1x2 plate with a 2x8 or 2x4 on the side. So, and this is not a brick. This is 2 plates tall, and you don't graduate till brick until you get to 3 plates tall, because that's what a brick starts at. So I think this is actually called a brick in Bricklink, but I could be wrong. But to me, this is just 2 plates high. Since it's just 2 plates high, it doesn't graduate to the brick category. So again, that's what I started doing. And so those are the 1x2 modified plates with studs on the side. These are the modified plates with no studs on the side. So this is a 1x2 there. This is a 1x2 with that on it. And this is where I get into differences for everybody else. This is a 1x2 plate, because this is 1x2 plate right there. It acts like a plate with a cockpit window, right? And I think the big one that a lot of people get is what I can't stand when I talk about this. Well, I don't care. This to me is 1x2 plate with offset studs, because these studs do not line up. Because I think they say this is a 1x4 plate with offset. This is a 1x2 plate because there's only 2 studs that are in a row, and with the, so it is, and it is a plate, just like this is a plate, right? So and these studs are offset. This is a 1x2 plate, not a 2x2 with a notch out of it. This is a 1x2 plate with still an L brick or an L plate, but it's a 1x2 plate with that, because then when you get to the 2x2 plates, they have stuff off of it too. So I don't know. I'm not OCD. I'm not sold on it, but this is how I started sorting way back when. This is a 1x2 plate with a peg on it, handle on it. So this is how I've done it my entire life. This is a 1x2 plate. It is what they call a 1x2 plate with handles on it. That hasn't changed. So because when you look at it, this is going to be one of those quote-unquote exceptions, because this is a 1x2 plate because there's a stud and you know, inverted. So this is a 1x2 plate with a animal arm on it, insectoid on it. So I started doing this well before the internet because my collection was getting big back then, and so this is how I started sorting. And I appreciate how other think this is a 1x2 plate because there's 2 studs and inverted, and then this thing has this is the spider and claws stuff, but I can't see this being a 1x4 plate because it's not 1x4 where the actual studs are. Right, the 4 is studs in a row, and these are not 4 studs in a row. This is a plate, 1x2 plate with 2 offset studs. But we can get into those discussions later. It really doesn't matter. So that's how I do it. So if you're looking for something in my collection that you think is a 1x4, look at my 1x2. So the difference between gray and black, of course, I have a lot more black. So basically, all my 1x plates, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6, 8, 10 plus plates. And 2x2, 2x3, 2x4, this whole bin is just 2x4 plates, 2x6 plates, 2x8 plus. 4x plates, I got another one here, 4x8 plates, so I might have to sometimes sort that into 4x4, 6, 8, and then the rest in the bigger one, 6x plates, and then modified plates, which are the bigger versions of those. And then 1x1, 1x3. This is how most of my colors are sorted out. 1x1, 1x3, all in one bin. 1x2 by itself, 1x4 by itself, 1x6 and 8 in a bin. And then you get over here to 2x2, 2x3, 2x4, 2x6, 8, and 10. This is round up here, round, because black has a lot of round plates and bricks. And I've been sorting them, so this is these small, and then the rest of them are big. So I use the Lego head right there to sort that. So it's really quick and easy and lazy. 45 degree slopes, misc slopes, which I should sort out in smaller chunks, but I haven't done that. 33 slopes, and then 33 inverted slopes and 45 inverted slopes. The WFS and panels together here. So there's, again, doors, windows, fences, shutters. Wing plates for black, again, across 3. These are hinge multi-parts. For black, it's plates, bricks, and miscellaneous, blah, blah. So that's it for black overall. These are 1x plate, the modified plates. So anything that's a 1x modified plate goes in here. It's nice and small. This is my row of 32x32 base plates all the way across. Over here we have the raised palisade, or whatever it's called. You got the aqua zones and the I think some of these are castles or whatever. You got these ones, the bigger ones that was it Spires? No, it wasn't Ice Planet. There's Ice Planet over here, and some castles and whatever. And then all this right here, crater plates right to here, because I even got a blue crater plate, which I wish I got more. I actually found this one and I loved it. I actually got this one in Valley Village. I was just looking years ago, and it had $2.99 or $3.99 in the back. And I probably knew they made these, but I forgot. So I was surprised to see it there. And this was, I've said, even when I first got my first crater plate back in 1980, whatever, when I got the Beta 1, I said this was a deficiency in the crater base plates for space. They should have done this back then, because the flat part of these crater plates, because I tried this flat part is exactly 1 brick taller than this, and you could have built into here, but it would have been nice to have studs in there to build onto. The other thing was a huge deficiency, but they didn't fix here either, is they didn't have any cross members under here, and they should have done that. Just a few, because if you step on this, it flattens out. And I've actually had some base plates that somebody stepped on. You can see all the pressure marks along here. I know you can't go back now and fix that, because obviously they're never going to build crater plates again. But c'est la vie, right? So life goes on, and we can't hold a grudge and whatever. They did the best they could back in the day, but they should have hired me. And these are all my landing pads, my classic space landing pads and T intersections right there. and some light blades, 32 by 32, all studded. These are all the base plate, well, not all of them, but these are a lot of my base plates from when I was a kid, with the various sets that I had when I was a kid, and also some lots in there. But these are my road base plates, the 9, and then the 11, and then the 13, with the sidewalk on the side. The landing strips for the airports, the green road base plates. You can just tell by looking at them. These are the house that the driveway goes on that little angle to the road base plate. Blue base plates, mostly just 32 by 32, but there's a couple islands in there. Tan base plates, and again a couple with the roadways in there. Brown and red, and these are 16 by 32s over here, just for storage. I had a broken original road base plate, and here the corner was broken off, and so I cut it in half because at one point the layout needed a half 16 by 32 roadway to get the base plates connected together, roadway connected together. So I did that. The other half is here somewhere, which is what I used in the layout. This is again from absolutely years of collecting, and I'm very happy with what I got. And if I ever get into town, I know that everybody's doing the, I forget what they call it, the Jeffy called it something the other day, the built up roadways and stuff like that, and that's much better than these original base plates. But this makes it so quick and easy to drop off. Oh yeah, and these are of course the Blacktron 2 base plates, the T intersections and the landing pads. I am nostalgic for youth of the 32 by 32 base plates. I was happy when they started coming out in the 80s. But I also like the brick-built base plates, so you can do a lot of the landscaping and raised roads and all that stuff. So these things are becoming passé for shows. So they just sit here. I really don't use any of these much at all on this side. Of course I use these because it's all space, but these guys, minus the black, which I'm going to be using pretty soon. The rest of it is pretty much, yeah, they're there and they sit there and they gather dust. Down here we have the blade, the new dark blade. You know, it's here. And then I put in some sets that Josh loves this 3-4-3-2 basketballs, the sports. He gets the minifigs, and this is all make and take stuff. So this is where all the make and take stuff ended up, and then more blade there. So not terribly organized. Let me come behind the door and close the door for a sec. That's just fantastic. More minifigs, because I used to have this tape all the way down with the 32 by 32, and then we would just put the collectible minifigs up there. But of course, I have a billion minifigs now, so whatever. This is my wall of shame. All the tires. I don't know what to do with them all. And then we get into my electronics, which I rarely use. My battery, well, not battery boxes, but my control centers for the Spybotics and stuff like that. My RCX bin, my Scout bin. Down here we have my train stuff from when I used to do train shows. So there's an Emerald Knight in there. There's obviously a Maersk in there. There's the TTX. I have 2 or 3 of the Metroliners. This is my big hull boat bin thing, whatever. I don't know what to do with that. Down here, this is my bin of controllers, train controllers. This is the, I have the first 2 modulars, and then they got destroyed. I won't mention the 4-year-old that destroyed them, but I really don't care. He had fun with them. And so, but I kept all the pieces in the bin. So I don't know if I'm going to sort them into the collection or try to rebuild them at some point. But it's the first 2 modulars, and they just sit there. They haven't come out of the bin since I put them in there 7-8 years ago. Stuff that I can't put on display, but they're here. My monorail. So, and 48 by 48. Oh, those are 32s. Oh, they're 48s. I have a couple 50 by 50s. These might be 48s. No, they're 50 by 50s. So these are 50 by 50s, 2 of them. These are 16 by 48s. I cut a couple 48s up into 16 because, again, I needed them for the layout. When Jeff and I were doing the track on the outside, I just made life easier. So there's 16 by 48s. These are all 48s by 48s, old gray, blue, new gray, and 2 I can get these out without wrecking anything. I got these off of eBay years ago. That's actually Lego, a 48 by 48 clear base plate. I got 2 of them. I'll show you the other one if I actually get it. I'll put that away in a second. Back here is more sets that I got, and I just put them in boxes. This is my track. So this is switch track, but that's a set, and I don't even know what that is. Obviously, I haven't been in there in a while. And there's another one behind there. These are my 9-volt rails here. The old dark gray, straight and curve. This is my bin of cloth that has Lego prints on it, either bed sheets or clothing or whatever that I, put in here. My NXT box, and this is what I was talking about. I'll get that thing away. I did this for Josh's 4th birthday. Obviously, a lot of pieces have fallen off since then, but it's sitting there. So it's 40 by 48 on the clear. I also tried to teach Josh multiplication by doing 12 by 12. Sort of worked. My dirt crusher that Jeff and I picked up, but I got the expansion packs off of Mike Shields from Lasting Toys. So this is my entire bin of dirt crusher. This is my entire bin of supports, the big 10 brick tall supports and the other supports. Plastic tires that I use in space and stuff like that. Other Megacore magnetizer tires, the blue and white tires, more tires over there. The brick vacuum, which never works, but I kept it. These are kind of miscellaneous stuff that I just stuff in here. The old base plates that I seem to have lots of, even from when I was a kid, but a lot of lots had them. The 4-wide track, which I don't do anything with. My classic castle, just kind of taken apart in there. All the way down to the bottom, more miscellaneous stuff. And then we have white, sort of sorted. That big bin there is not sorted at all. We have red, which used to be my most predominant color until I got rid of a lot of it because I had a lot of basic 2x2, 3, 4, and 1x2, 4, 8, 6, and they all went over to Jeff. So I got to free up a lot of shelving because red was basically all the way down to the bottom because I had like 2x4, 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 and I said, screw that. I don't need 4 bins of 2x4s. So we only have 1. And the rest went to Jeff. So overflow goes into this bin now. So I already sent for 3 totes to Jeff. As I sort the rest of this stuff out, I'm sure I'll have a full other tote. And then yellow, which is not a lot. Yellow is not a lot. That's basically the extent of my yellow. And so I get to put the dark blue and the purple and the light blue and the gold and the silver here. And the tan there. And the lime green there. And then the green, the regular green's all the way down here. So this is my green area. Not a lot of green bricks, but they're all here. And I talked about before, these shoe boxes from Home Depot, you fit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, perfectly across on a Billy bookcase from IKEA. Like it fits perfectly. Right? And then I sort it because they don't give you all the shelving. Oh, not a lot of shelving. They give you like 3 or 4 sets of shelves. So I broke it up into stacks of 3 overall. So this gap here is for the bigger bins, right? And then so this and this is a solid shelf in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 up there, and then 1 at the very top. And then I can even put stuff right on top at the shelf. So it holds 4 by 15. I think it's 15. Let's count. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15. So 4 by 15. So that's 60 of these bins, right? So each shelf holds 60 of those bins if you put them on top as well. I can't complain about that at all. And then of course I had to modify some because there's this main beam, this joist that holds up this main floor. So I don't have that top shelf here because there's a beam here. So I did some modifications for blue. And this is my blue stuff, which I obviously use to build a lot with. It is usually the quote-unquote most sorted. So when I get a lot, I sort out the blue first and I put it into these bins. But obviously, since I've got a huge layout in the garage and 1 box over there, that a lot of my blue brick is already used up, so they don't take up a lot of space on my shelves. And then down here is sort of interesting for me. Big base plates. the 8x16s, and then the old 10x20s are in there, the 8x8s, and above that is all the gutter track. I have another bit of gutter track up here because it didn't all fit in there. And this is all my plantation stuff, my plants and carrots and flowers. So these are all the bins of my greenery, my foliage. So not that I use that a lot, including the old 70s trees. Above this is the stuff that we got from McDonald's when they had the promos on for Lego Movie. It always ends up in here. The idea was at one point to give it away at shows. It just sits there. Clickets, my whole bin of Clickets, which I actually do have. I bought a few sets back in the day. They were on deep discount, and then I keep on finding them when I'm doing getting lots from various sources. So that's my whole bin of Clickets. And then we get over to my Technic stuff, sorted by color. So blue, red, yellow, white and yellow, and then dark gray and dark blay, and then gray and light gray and light blay. Big Technic gears and stuff, and then black. My battery's going to die soon. Black is sorted more than the rest of it, and it keeps on going up. The old gears system that came out years ago, panels, Technic treads, the small ones, the big ones, and the links, pneumatic hoses, all those cute little doodads that Technic uses. The musical plugins to the musical kits. This is my boost that we got for Josh. It sits here now. And garage door pieces. Bionicle Manas, if you're interested. And then light blay. Yeah. So light blay is not good for much. And then even more stuff up here. Waffle plates, tons of waffle plates. Magnets, lots of magnets. Pullback motors, tons of pullback motors behind Josh. We have, again, more pullback motors. And brown 4.5 volt wires because it wouldn't fit in the box over there. Some yellow Technic pieces that I didn't know what to do with, and some more stuff that I should sort out, blah, blah, blah. So, and then out front, Eiffel Tower that Josh built. When Sandy and I and Josh went over to Brick World, we picked up a lot of stuff in the Lego store, in the Pick-a-Brick, and we built the Sears Tower ourselves. I'm sure it's not accurate at all. We built it when we were there. The glow-in-the-dark stuff is just sitting there because Josh likes to play with that. Again, so there's a message intercept base, but behind the message intercept base is my one Galador set. And then the NXT right over there, and then a couple R2-D2s. So that's my room. I am very happy with my room. I am working at, this is a bin here, right here, of stuff that we picked up at Value Village and other places that I have to sort and wash. So anything that comes in here goes in here, and then you have to sort it and then wash it. Thankfully, I have, besides that big box over there and this guy, I'll be all sorted. So I have to get that done at some point. I actually built two of these 853s. Not recently, a while back. I did a whole video on the original expert builder / Technic sets, but my friend Ralph mentioned that he didn't have one. He's a really good friend of mine, so I have two, and the second I see him, he'll get one of them. so I have two. This is one of the musical sets that I got when I worked for Mike Shields. The other one, I thought it was out here. I think it's buried again. But I had my niece over here the other day. She's all of 2 years old. Oh, there it is right there. This thing, I'll never understand why Lego discontinued this thing. This thing is so, so cool. And I think I did a video on it, so you can go look it up on my YouTube channel. This is one of my favorite bins. That's, every time I talk about it, it's like flexing. But these are my big panels. And again, it was more full back in the day because I have been downsizing. Get down here. So this is from the Aqua Zones and other, like even the Futurons and stuff like that. And so I have tons, and I will say, be straight up, I got a lot of these off of Bricklink. I really did. But I did have a 699 one, so that's, you know, I had some of this stuff in the 6991. And the Omega Core magnetizer, that's mine because I put the numbers on it. And then we got the Ice Planet. And then we got more Aquazone stuff here. I believe it was Aquazone. And then we got more blue there. And then Blacktron 2, which I'm going to be building soon. Blacktron 1, which I've already built. And then either Futuron or the Explorians, whatever, those little bases I already built. So, you know, I've always liked this bin. And again, this is from decades of collecting. So put that back on the shelf, and hopefully the battery still lasts. Oh, I should show you this too over here, because it's usually not like, sorry for the big shaky cam. So down here, we kind of have a miscellaneous area. This is when I used to be into trains. So this is my whole bin of train wheels, going back to new, old, and even the original train wheels, and then train couplers and bogies. So it's for all the magnet couplers and the bogies on top, and I got a couple yellow ones recently. 4.5 volt track and parts. So the blue and the gray are in here, including the bogies. And then down there is train motors and train base plates. So it, if I ever need a train base plate for my layout, because the one dies, I still have some spares. That should last me for a while. These are 2 bins of poly bags that have never been opened. So I get sometimes I'll get a lot with a poly bag in it that's never been opened, but usually we go to Toys R Us or wherever, Walmart, we find a poly bag, we sell it, we buy it, we bring it home for whatever reason, and it doesn't get opened, and so therefore I just put them in here. And a couple things from BrickFet over the years, absolutely, there's some BrickFet poly bags in there. This is my miscellaneous colors. Since I don't have a lot, but I actually have a full bin right there, and one beside it that's absolutely full, and that's the big bin of colors that I do not build with. The sand greens, the sand blues, the dark reds, dark greens, all the colors that I can't tell apart because I'm colorblind. A little bit. It's me getting up. So I basically keep the colors I grew up with, the black, white, red, yellow, blue, all sorted out 100%, try to anyway. The gray as well, obviously, because I do a lot of building in gray. And even the blay and the dark blay and the dark gray are here. Dark grays are all here. But of course, the gray and the dark gray are getting smaller all the time, because when I build with them, I can't replenish them, obviously, because they don't make them anymore. So it is kind of neat when I find a lot at Value Village or anywhere else that has old dark gray in it, old regular gray in it, and then I will replenish my supplies. But of course you can't get it, and this is what I'm sorting out right now. As you can see, I got the regular colors that I like out of it, and we're left with all these miscellaneous colors. So it is, I mean, lime green I sort of do sometimes, because I can actually tell lime green from other greens. But when it comes to dark brown and dark red and dark green, like, you guys will see a difference there. Absolutely. I sort of see a difference there. So I know that I believe this is dark green and this is brown. But if I had a dark red, I'm sure you guys can already point out dark red in here. You know, the pink, the dark pink, the light pink, I can tell, but I'm not going to build with them, so they all end up in the same bin. The browns, I actually have browns sorted out a little bit. I think that's dark red. I think that's dark red. So to me, let's just put this together. I have to work at that. So this is brown, this is dark red, and this is dark green. It's just tougher for me. And then you get into the burnt oranges, right? And the green's fine. And this color, like, I don't even know where to put that color, because first of all, I will never build with it. And the non, because they came out with this a lot more now, the non-lime green, but the not green, the light green, I guess it's called, you know, so it's tough for me. And then the toughest one for me right now is the whatever they call the new light orange / yellow. So I actually had all those in my yellow bin, or a lot of them, because they came in the Penguin stuff from the Batman series. And I actually, there is a difference. And so I had to remove all of them. And of course, I don't have enough bins to put all this stuff in. So right now I don't build with them. So right now they basically don't get sorted overall. I tried sorting a little bit, but I don't put a lot of effort into it because I'd rather be building classic space with classic space colors. Like, you know, sand, I think. It's kind of an odd hobby. When I was growing up, it didn't bother me at all because all the colors were very, very easy to tell apart. But when they got into these kind of colors, I found it a lot more difficult. Now, overall, I see a whole bunch of colors. It's not like I see one color here. I can tell the difference between the bluishes to the brownishes. But as I say, the dark red, the dark green, and the brown, I have to stop and look. And that's just tough. So I don't bother with it too much. But anyway, that's my desk. I was actually pulled these things out the other day because these were fantastic sets when I was a kid. I built this was a set, and I absolutely loved it. So I pulled it out to talk about, and I never got there. Other than that, this is my entire Lego. Now, that said, okay, so I showed you this one box here. So this is one of my 4 big boxes that the layout goes on top of when I'm at a show. It's got studs on top, ish, square studs. This is the shelf that was in one of the drawers that's in the garage still, but this is a shelf that has all the monorail track in it. And some of that monorail track has copper on it, so the cold from winter will kill it, so I brought it in here. That's my friend gave me the M3D 3D printer, which I use sporadically. It's very, very quote-unquote rudimentary. It's one of the first commercially available or privately available 3D printers, but it works and it's cute and it's fun. That's my garbage can. There. Yes, it is a Tyco garbage can because that's what it's useful for. Actually, speaking of that, so we were at Valley Village, and I actually did a video a while back. I don't know how far back, but you'll actually see me talking about that when I got that. And so I saw that behind the counter, and I asked the person if I could look at it. So they brought it over, and it was a Tyco can but inside was all Lego and some really cool Lego pieces. I can't remember. I was on the video. It tells you. I think I said how much I paid for it, but there's some really good classic space in there and some dragons in there and some other stuff in there. So it's a pleasure to buy. And then I got to use that thing as a garbage can because that's what Tyco's worth for. So I got a lot of paperwork over here. Forget the sets there, and these are sets over here. The World Lego Toys, I just talked about that the other day. This is my Lego Wars book, which I will never get rid of. I actually did a video about this. Lego Wars Saga. This is when I started naming all the people. But Lego Wars and the text, the script is all in here with all their updates. This was all done in the Commodore 64. So there's a whole quote-unquote Bible, series Bible there. One of my favorite comics that I got years ago from my good friend Greg Highland. So I kept that. Good old Greg. Fantastic. This is back in the day when we used to do shows with him. So love the guy. So I keep that one. And some other, I got these. This is what I got when I went to Samsonite in Stratford. This is one of the 3 swags I got. It's kind of a synopsis of the Lego World of Lego Toys. It's kind of cute. A lot of these things that I recognize on here, on the front cover here, were in the Lego magazine that we used to get every other month or every 4 times a year. So it just basically talks about the Lego company. This is what I had myself. I have like 2 or 3 copies of that, and that's the interface that they built. I already had one built for the Commodore 64 when that happened. But anyway, that was kind of neat from 1987. I got that. Put that back in there. And then I have all these, the 260, the 250, the 6000 idea magazines or booklets. I have other ones too. I don't know where they are right now. But this is when we got into the Saturday or the Sunday Star. This is like going way back. You think I would take better care of this stuff. Let's see. 814, because actually it should be 12, 13, 14. And this is where you'll see a big ugly picture of me. There's me. and so the photographer from the Star came over to my house one day. This one I live in the apartment down in Brunswick. And this is my homage to the fire station in Toronto, Spadina and Bloor, I think it is, and of course the Red Baron's plane. But he came over and he wanted a picture of me with my Lego collection. I didn't have much together at the time. This is years ago, over 18 years ago, because I've been in this house for 18 years. And then so I brought that down because I was doing train shows, and he says, "Well, that's not good enough. We should dump bricks all over the floor." Have you seen my collection? It's sorted. But he wanted me to, that's fine, anything for a picture, right? Photographers, anything for a picture. Hey, did he help me sort afterwards? No, he did not. So, but anyway, it's fine. It's a beautiful picture, and it's a nice article. But I would have to say my favorite article that I've ever been part of, because this was pretty good, because that's my friend Jeffy. My favorite article, and I don't know if I just covered it over, is from Joe Mino. So it's right here. So this happened recently. So Brick Journal. There you go, in this Brick Journal, and right here, and one of the issues from a couple years. When was this thing? January 2021. So this year, 2021. My layout. Thanks, Joe. and there's me. And one of my favorite pictures ever of me, Callum took at one of our robot shows way back in the day. I used to have a bigger picture on my back wall. I don't know where it went. It's somewhere in this room. I kept it because I don't like too many pictures of me, except when I'm with Sandy. But when I'm on my own, I take a crappy picture. And I'm so young here. There's not like a gray hair at all. But this is one of my robots. I was known for building big robots at the time. And again, this is back in the day when RCXs, which are still superior than any other robot that came afterwards. My opinion. I'm not biased. I love all the new stuff too. But this was the block sorting competition where your robot had to grab white and black blocks off the floor and then sort them out and then dump the white blocks on the one side and dump the black blocks on the other side of a line going down the middle of the platform. Now, it's not, don't read anything else into that. It was just fun, 4x4 blocks. And so I built this huge contraption to do that. And I think it was 18 inches where my arms are from the end of the V at the top to the back. And it was, I think, one of my biggest robots I ever built. And you can see the light sensors in the bottom and the pickup rollers at the bottom there, right below where my hands are. It worked very well. But Joe was very nice enough to ask me to write an article for him at the beginning of this year. And I was so happy to do that because I've known Joe for a long time now. And I really respect his work. I absolutely adore him. And he's a very, very good fan for our hobby. This is, I already talked about this in another video, but this is a set that one of my friends' sister-in-laws, she owns a thrift store, and somebody brought this in, and the sister-in-law knows that her sister-in-law, which is my friend, has a friend, which is me, if you follow that sentence, that loves Lego. So she immediately set this aside for me, and she gave it to me. And it is, in the end, it is exactly what you would expect in here. Now, again, I can't find an inventory for this set to actually do an inventory. But that's nice. And I got that old box up there, which is nice. I don't keep too many boxes at all. As a matter of fact, there's a box over there. You can't see it now. Of the 6985. I'm looking for a buyer because I don't want the box. The only box, there's one hidden way back there. That's the TC logo stuff. And there's behind that, there's the actual interface, the black interface with the card for an Apple IIe, but I don't own an Apple IIe, so it's very tough for me to do that. So this is my wooden box that I found on eBay one time, and I had to get it. So, and I didn't expect it to come with parts. So all the parts are inside, and it tells you what parts are in here. And it's all Italian, but it is a service pack from 1972. So you got the wheels, you got the these old pieces for the truck platforms, the train platforms, the tank treads, all in here. The tires, these are mint tires for the old tires back in the day. The rubber gaskets for the train wheels, the 12-volt train wheels. A lot of arches. The fantastic wheels, and the milky white axles, all in the bag, and also the original hubs, the original bushings. So absolutely adore this. Some lights, replacement lights, the old 4.5 volt that doesn't have the centering pin, and some lights for the 2x4 clear bricks that have the lights, and then of course all these guys here for the chain motors and whatever else, and the self-centering wheels. And speaking of which, it's not in here, but they used to be there. Oh, they are. They're right there. I keep on meaning to do a video, or I might have done a video about this thing and how that centers the wheels. This is from my childhood. Oh, sorry, I missed this part. The original Universal. I really adore that thing. So that is usually on a shelf somewhere, but I don't have space right now because I have all these empty, or these things to sort out. But basically, that truck right here, and this truck right here has that whole get up, and I think I did a video about that, and if I haven't, I'm going to, because I think that's one of the most fantastic things that came out of the 70s, as the self-centering steering on the rigs back then. But anyway, that's an hour of my Lego room. Pretty thorough. If you saw anything, I have to fix the ceiling again. This is, I cut the hole because we had to run a pipe outside for the furnace when we replaced the furnace a bunch of years back. So I just put this piece of melamine over top of it, and the screws came out, and blah blah blah. So stuff I have to fix. Again, stuff I have to fix. And that, really quick story, Josh dropped something down his vent on the second floor, but the vent went straight down to the basement and got caught because there's an elbow right underneath here that goes that way to that, which is where all the venting goes back to the furnace. So I had to cut the hole to get access to the elbow. And I didn't, since this is a Lego room, it's not like when it converts to a bedroom at some point in the future, I'll fix the ceiling. But right now it just has a piece of melamine on top, which is good enough for Canada. I do have some books that I don't want because I don't need the books. I only want the world of Lego toys. One of my favorite things. Two of my favorite. Oops, this is me dropping it now. I am going to have fun building those. So the garage pieces, I already talked about them, so I'm not going to bore everybody else. I do have a bunch of videos going back in my stream, going back 15 years when YouTube started, and a lot of them have to do with my Lego collection. I didn't talk about this really quickly. 9-volt motors and 9-volt the fiber optics, light sensors, rotation sensors, blah blah blah. Most of them are crap now because the wire's fraying. The 9-volt, I mean, this is the power function stuff. These are the micro scouts and the scouts, and these are power supplies for everything. And these are the big 9-volt battery boxes and small 9-volt battery boxes. And this is my EV3 bin. I just got an EV3 off my friend Janie. So this is my miscellaneous EV3 bin, parts and pieces. I had to store them somewhere. That's it. That's all. I think that's all. I've already bored most people on this call. So I will, again, if you see something that you want me to delve into in detail, I can talk about it. But this is my room, and this is my storage. This is how I store things.